Hey craft nerds, how's it going? I thought I would do something a little bit different. I don't know if you guys are Harry Potter fans, but I certainly am. And if anyone is a Harry Potter fan, they've probably heard of the website Pottermore. Now, for those who don't know what Pottermore is, you can basically log on, start an account, and you can also get yourself sorted into one of the various houses in the Harry Potter world in Hogwarts, and you answer a range of questions so that the sorting hat can put you into the right house. You can also go on there and choose, answer questions as well and find out what your Patronus is. Again, for those who aren't familiar with a Patronus, it's a spell in Harry Potter that basically casts a guardian creature, if you like, and each person has their own Patronus that's specific to them. So, it'll be an animal that, I guess represents who you are and is your sort of spirit guardian creature or what have you. Now, I did the Pottermore test to see which house I was sorted into. And, if you're into Harry Potter, of course you think, I really want to be Gryffindor because then I'll be like the hero of the tale and, so you're always hoping for that. Or I thought Ravenclaw sounded cool, so that was like option 2. The option I did not want and got was Slytherin. So when I first got that outcome, to be honest, I was not happy. I was thinking, this is crap. I'm not Slytherin. I'm not they're all made out to be the evil characters that you overcome and, the bad guys, and I'm like, geez, how did I answer the questions to get to that point? And I thought back over the questions, and one of the very last questions was, do you prefer black or white? And I have a feeling my choice of black tipped me into the Slytherin house. So, yeah, I wasn't too happy. I honestly haven't even bought anything Slytherin at all. I've got a friend who's also Slytherin. She embraced Slytherin way before I did, and she has a whole range of Slytherin merchandise and things like that. And in fact, I've bought her some Slytherin things as well. Me, I have not. But I thought today's the day where I embrace my Slytherin house. And maybe we'll do a craft project related to that, because I have a particular item in the garden that I think would work well for this project.
This is Scooter, very upset that I'm standing outside and not giving him cuddles right now. He's in a very, very cuddly mood. Yes, I know. Oh, I know. He's telling me. Anyway, here's a look at my dried out garden. We haven't had rain for a while, or we had some rain the other week, but we had a big patch there where there was no rain, and I was trying to keep everything alive. Most things survived. This fern is hanging on for dear life. It's got 2 fronds left, and then some dried out stuff over there, all looking a bit sad really. But we are here for something else. We are going to capture ourselves one of these. So, the stealthy craft nerd hunter moves in on her prey. She grabs it with one stealthy move. Ha ha ha. It's a wooden snake.
So before we get into doing the craft project, I'll share a little bit of what I know of what the Slytherin house apparently means, if you happen to fall into the Slytherin house. And, I'm hoping to share a bit of the screen with you guys and find out what my wand is too. My husband's going to help me work out how to do that because I haven't been able to do a screen capture before. It'll be my first time, so it's new to me. But if you do the test and you do happen to go into Slytherin, basically they try and let you know it's not all bad, and not all Slytherins are horrible bad people, even though a lot of them apparently are. Apparently the traits of a Slytherin are cunning, ambitious, resourceful, shrewd, and determined. So, I mean, that's good. Got, I think, a cat hair on my nose. So, yeah, those are good traits to have. And the website says that although Slytherin produces more than its share of dark wizards, it also turns out leaders who are proud, ambitious, and cunning. Apparently, Merlin was a particularly famous Slytherin, so there's that. And apparently the history of the Slytherin house was that it was founded by one of the four founders was Salazar Slytherin, and he was a parcel mouth. For those who again haven't watched Harry Potter, it basically means they can communicate with snakes, hence the symbology around the Slytherin house being a snake, and the colour being obviously green, and I've embraced my green today. And he built the Chamber of Secrets apparently, so that's pretty cool. In case you guys are interested, my particular Patronus ended up being the Piebald Mare. Now, I was trying to find out what that meant, and I'm sure when I did it originally, it did let me know, the traits and things that that particular Patronus sort of symbolises. It was something to do with, leadership, loyalty, and strength and things like that, I think. But I couldn't for the life of me find that information again. I know there are some websites though that have put together their own thoughts on what each of the Patronus creatures mean. One that I found, and I don't know how authentic this website was or where the information came from, although I guess it's all make-believe really, isn't it? But said it didn't say a lot, it just said something about the Piebald Mare being a symbol of fame. So, I don't know, didn't say much else, and then said something about if you cast the spell, then you'll be, famous for casting the Piebald Mare. I don't know. So yeah, that's my Patronus, and I'll try and show you guys what that looks like. So guys, this is my Slytherin profile. You can go in and read about what the Slytherin house is about, the characters involved with the Slytherin house. They have the traits there, they have some wallpapers, which I haven't used yet because of my whole issue with the Slytherin thing, but maybe I'll use them now. There's, characters, and then you can go into your Patronus, and you can actually cast the Patronus spell from here, and this is really freaking cool. I never get sick of doing this. I have done this so many times. Alright guys, let's have a look at what wand I'll be given with the wand ceremony on the Pottermore website. I'm going to click on there. Okay. I have no idea what it's going to ask me. Alright, to ensure we find the perfect one for you, it's very important that you answer the following questions honestly. First of all, would you describe yourself as? Average height. Short. I am definitely short. My eyes, dark brown, black, brown, hazel, blue. I am blue-eyed. Was the day on which you were born an even number, an odd number? It was an odd number. Do you most pride yourself on kindness, optimism, determination, resilience, imagination, intelligence, originality? Oh, they're all very good traits. I think for me, it'd have to be imagination. All right, traveling alone along a deserted road, you reach a crossroads. Gosh, I can't talk. Do you continue? All right, left towards the sea, ahead towards the forest, right towards the castle, left towards the sea. Well, given that I live in a forest, let's go for the forest selection. Right, do you most fear fire, darkness, isolation, small spaces, heights? I'm not too bad with heights, which is good because I live in a very tall house. Small spaces, I think it'd have to be the one. I don't like being in really tight spots, so let's go with that one. In a chest of magical artifacts, which would you choose? Ornate mirror, dusty bottle, golden key, silver dagger, bound scroll, glittering jewel, black glove. Oh, it's somewhere between the glittering jewel, because, you know, it's me, and the golden key. Let's be honest, I'm going to go for anything sparkly. All right, what have I got? I have a Hollywood with a phoenix feather core. Ooh. 9 3/4 inches and slightly springy flexibility. Your wand has been chosen. Spread the word. Share your wand. Awesome.
Okay, well, it doesn't look like much right now, but I've had this wooden snake since we moved in. Someone left it in the garden. It's got some pretty cool carvings on it. I think something could be done with that.
Alright, so here's the snake in more detail that we will be doing up. So it's just a wooden snake that this was here when we moved in. It was left there by the owners. It's got sort of carvings in it and things, and yeah, we just haven't done anything with it. And I was looking at it the other day and just thinking, I should do something with that. And, you know, I thought, well, you know what, I am apparently Slytherin, so what about I do, you know, really cool, like, Slytherin-inspired design on my snake, you know, make it very green and magical looking, I guess, and maybe I'll even hang it up in my studio and finally embrace my Slytherin side. Alright, first step, needs a bit of a sand. It's looking a little bit rough. I'm just brushing off the excess stuff with a dry brush just to get rid of all the sawdust. And I figure I should prime it. So I've pulled out my gesso and I'm just putting a white coat on it now. This would be no good in the garden. If you're using gesso, you could spray paint it. The enamel paint would work okay, but gesso would probably start to come off after not too much time. Alright, so I decided I wanted to sort of do a bit of a shaded colouring to it, and I was being absolutely super bloody lazy and did this on my table with not much newspaper down. I got this stuff everywhere. So I did black on the bottom, and you'll be able to watch me slowly spray paint everything that's on my desk as well. So yeah, I did it on the sides and the bottom and the gold on the top. Basically wanted to shade the colour on the top most visible side down to a darker colour. And I've used some pearlescent green paint. I mixed it a little bit to get the right colour and put some pearlescent colour in. And I'm just getting a large brush to brush that across the top. Sort of a teal green. A little bit on the bottom, not too much. I don't want to cover the black entirely. I still want that to be darker than the rest of it. Now it's got carvings in it, so I just used the carvings to decide on the design that I do on the snake. I just mixed a sort of a darker teal green colour to add a little bit of contrast. I kept all the colours, very green, teal, a bit of yellow and blue, all the colours that would be in green, because I'm really wanting to make this look very Slytherin inspired, and obviously green is the Slytherin colour. And I'm bloody Slytherin. Making a bit of a mozza of that part there, brushing it out of the lines. So I felt like I went over the gold too much with my green, so I went back in with a bit more gold and just used I think these are a sea sponge, and I quite like those for using, and pouncing on things and giving that kind of shaded look. You could use a dry brush as well. You kind of want a shaggy kind of brush if you do that. The rougher the better. Now you can see the carvings in there, and I'm just following those carved lines with some yellow to make them pop a bit more. I'm not being too fussy with this project. This is more for fun, just to, hopefully inspire you. Maybe you've got something like this in your garden. Maybe you are feeling the cringe of the Slytherin stigma and need some inspiration of how you can also embrace the Slytherin side of you, like I have, really totally embracing it, sort of. So this is just sort of a warm, kind of burnt yellow colour, and that worked out pretty well against the greens and teals. So every so often I'm adding a little bit more green in between the yellow because, you know, it is Slytherin and I felt like it was becoming a bit too teal and yellow. I need to make sure it's got the green in there, otherwise it sort of defeats the purpose of being a Slytherin snake. Now I realise not everybody has a wooden snake hanging around in their backyard, so if you are wanting to do a project that's a painted object, maybe Slytherin inspired, maybe not. One thing is river stones. Those are fabulous to find and paint. You just clean them up really nice, and you can paint anything you like on them. If you are painting it for outside though, and you use acrylic paints, just make sure you varnish it with a varnish that's weatherproof. So it took a bit of time to get all the yellow painted on in the stripes, and you can see I haven't been too fussy about, you know, making it perfect. Now I'm putting on some blue just in those little dents that are in those stripes of the snake that I did teal, and just gives a really cool little contrast. You know, if you found the right stick in your garden, you could also use that as a snake and paint that up. That would probably work out pretty good. Alright, here's the finished product. I added a little bit more green, as you can see, in between the yellow, and that finished it off. Well guys, here's the finished product. It's Look, it's not too fancy. I just kept it pretty loose design. I could have gone into more detail, but you know, I kind of like it as it is, and you know, I can always go back and do some touch-ups on it later. I hope you enjoyed this little adventure exploring Slytherin and the Pottermore website, and this little project, you know, of putting together a little Slytherin token. Let me know if you guys have checked out the Pottermore website. What's your house? What's your Patronus? You know, have you bought any of the Harry Potter merchandise? Do you like the house they sorted you into? I'd love to hear from you guys. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye, craft nerds. Slithery Snaky! Slytherin! Slytherin! I love my Slytherin Snaky. You good Snaky. Ha! Hello! Hello! I'm a Slytherin Snaky. Slytherin! Got spray paint all over my stuff. 'Cause I was lazy. I couldn't be bothered moving things. That's just how we roll in Slytherin. Spray paint everywhere. Whoa.